In the traditional universe, Martian Manhunter's human identity is John Jones. But in DC's new Absolute universe created by Darkseid, John Jones and the Martian are two separate entities. This is the Absolute Martian Manhunter. I'm Andrew the Geek Master, and in today's video, we're diving into the weirdest Martian Manhunter of all time. To not miss stories like this one, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started. The story begins with an explosion in a coffee shop. John Jones is an FBI agent working with the task force specialized in analyzing and preventing terrorist acts. But now he's become a victim of an attack. As the explosion hits, John wonders why people do what they do. Why some become firefighters while others become arsonists, why some become doctors while others become killers. Somehow John survived the explosion. In fact, he was the only survivor. But something was off. He even started hearing some strange voice inside his head. After being taken to the hospital, the doctor reviewed his X-ray and found that John only had a mild concussion. 2 or 3 weeks off work should be enough for him to recover. The doctor says John is lucky to be alive. John lights a cigarette, only to get scolded because smoking isn't allowed in the hospital. But then John asks, if he can't smoke here, where's all that smoke he's seeing coming from? Outside, John meets up with his wife, Bridget Jones, who was waiting for him. He tells her that the doctor's wife is having an affair and he doesn't know what to do because the poor guy still loves her. The weird part is, it doesn't seem like the doctor told John anything, so how did he know that? John also lies, saying he's been cleared to return to work immediately, which makes his wife upset and understandably worried. She needs John just like their son Tyler does. He has an appointment tomorrow with a new speech therapist. Bridget hoped John would spend some time at home after all this, because ever since he joined that task force, he's barely been home or had time for his family. But as John puts it, FBI guys aren't exactly known for handing out vacations. Back at FBI headquarters, John's boss plans to place him on administrative leave. After what he's been through, John needs time off to be with his family. But John insists he's fine and wants to keep working. He even says he's got 12 active cases. Taking a few weeks off would put him behind by months. So his supervisor agrees to let him stay on one condition. He can't go near the coffee shop where the explosion happened or get involved with anyone connected to that case. That case is going to Agent Newell, because in this one, John is a victim, not an investigator. As this conversation goes on, John starts seeing and hearing more strange things. He sees vibrant colors all around, like psychedelic smoke, and he keeps questioning life, wondering why people do what they do, why one person becomes a cop and another a criminal, why some get up to go to work, while others get up to blow up a coffee shop. Turns out the terrorist attack that nearly killed John was carried out by a man named Mike Miller, who blew up the entire building using some kind of bomb vest, killing himself in the process. John's not supposed to, but of course he starts investigating the case on his own, against his boss's orders. He returns to the crime scene, wondering how he even knows that Agent Newell doesn't like him, or that he calls him Martian to his wife, saying John is always distant and different. As he thinks this, the colorful smoke returns, but only John can see it. John visits the bomber's mother to ask if Mike had been acting strange before the incident, but somehow John already knows she hates pickles and always gave hers to her son. He then talks to the bomber's best friend to find out if he'd been doing anything unusual. And somehow, John knows that Miller and this friend hooked up once and never talked about it again. After that, he speaks with the neighbor, and somehow John knows she's not lying, but she's trying to hide her marijuana addiction. John doesn't exactly know what he's hoping to find with this investigation, but he's searching for some kind of pattern. The truth is, things aren't always so clear. Sometimes they just happen by chance, by chaos, just like his own survival might have been. So John goes back home. But before he does, He passes by 3 times because he doesn't recognize his own house, which is strange because he's been living here for almost a year. Once he arrives, he talks to his wife, who again doesn't believe that her husband won't get any rest. While he hugs her, John starts having some memories of times they took some time off in the past. Soon after, he talks to his son, Tyler. He was making little clay figures of himself and his mom. John praises the boy's artwork and asks if there's a figure of him too. It's at this moment that Tyler points to a green figure that looked like some kind of alien. That night, John couldn't sleep. He stayed up all night trying not to think about the colored smoke. But when you try not to think about something, it's all you can think about. The next day, John lies again to his wife, telling her he needs to get to work earlier, while he also lies to work, saying he'll need to be late. He didn't want anyone to worry because in reality he was going to a doctor's appointment. While waiting for his turn, he starts having memories of a senior agent named Suttree, who had supported him during an operation where he had his first gunfight. When he's seen by the doctor says everything looks fine with John, and that whatever he's experiencing is probably due to stress. But John knows this isn't true, because somehow John knows it's that doctor who's extremely tired, on the brink of collapse from overwork. After that, John goes back to Miller's mother's house to search for more information about the case and whether she knows any reason her son did what he did. However, the woman keeps saying she doesn't know anything. Her son was a good kid who visited her every Sunday, and what happened was just some kind of mistake. As she says this, John sees colored smoke coming out of Mistress Miller's ears, and by inhaling that smoke, he somehow starts seeing her memories. For example, he sees Mike Miller as a child interacting with his mother, giving her flowers for her birthday, and crying when he found out his dad wouldn't be coming home. John feels suffocated by these visions, as if he's losing air, so he quickly leaves the house. But things don't get any better outside because he sees colored smoke coming from practically everyone on the street. With that, he has random visions, like of a pregnant woman buying a house, or a teenager getting his cigarettes found by his dad. There was so much smoke, so many visions, so much information coming from absolutely everyone around John. He didn't know what was happening. It felt like he was being poisoned by that smoke, as if he could read people's minds, see moments from their lives. Those visions weren't his. They were memories of the people around him. It's at this moment that John starts hearing a voice he describes as serene and green. Even though this doesn't make any sense, the voice encourages him to breathe in that smoke slowly. John does so, and ends up completely disoriented. He no longer knows if what's around him is real or not. Everything is completely incomprehensible, like a vortex of too much information. He asks who the being speaking in his mind is, and the voice tells him to remember. That's when John remembers the explosion caused by Mike Miller, the explosion that should have killed him, but he survived. This is where it's revealed that John's survival wasn't due to luck or a miracle. It was thanks to this creature. Some kind of creature saved John's life in some way, and now they're one. Looking through that smoke, John realizes they really are something different, something like a Martian. This first issue of the Absolute Martian Manhunter is simply amazing. I'm not usually into this kind of art, but I'll admit I really liked how it plays with colors and madness in a psychedelic and almost hypnotic way. The narrative keeps a mysterious tone throughout, and that's really good. It'll be interesting to see the relationship between John and the Martian, almost like a symbiotic bond. And if this is just the beginning, DC might be creating one of the boldest versions of Martian Manhunter we've ever seen. Now drop a comment letting me know what you thought of this first issue and what you think about John and the Martian being different beings. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more crazy stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.